Holy anticipation, Batman! Or would it be holy anticipation, Iron Man? Okay, who hasn't been looking forward to this movie? The first two trailers were awesome. I had some minor problems with them, but I had faith that they would turn it out alright. Who didn't love 2008's Iron Man? It was a fantastic surprise that nobody saw coming. What was this? Even more surprising, and not really in a good way. I guess Jon Favraeu decided to skip out on the intelligence and the realism this time and decided to say, hey, let's just blow shit up and give a 2-hour setup to the Avengers movie coming in 2012. And then we get a pretty much Spider-Man 3 scenario. Now, with that pessimistic opening, I'm not going to say that I didn't like this film. It wasn't in any means a bad film, but honestly, if the movie wasn't titled Iron Man 2, I would have no idea that it's even related in any way to the original. There's some really weak dialogue, the story is not all that interesting, and as I said, it plays out kind of like Spider-Man 3 with the characters. And there's way too many characters to handle, and some that could have been saved for another movie, and also a bunch of conflicting storylines that just kind of overcrowd the movie. I mean, it does balance itself out a lot better than what happened in Spider-Man 3, but still it has that same sort of jumbled effect. The struggle between being a direct sequel to the original Iron Man and taking on that character if it just wanted to be a setup for the Avengers movie. There's a storyline going on with Tony Stark that's existing from the original movie when the shrapnel enters his heart, which I thought was alright. It wasn't effectively done all that well, but it was okay. Obviously you have Mickey Rourke's story, which is very underdeveloped, because in Vengeance Tales you need to know more about that character in order to feel that revenge. Sam Rockwell steals the show, definitely. He gives the best performance in this movie, just fantastic as Justin Hammer. Some of Don Cheadle's stuff is really over the top and just ridiculously stupid, but I mean, he does a lot better of a job than Terrence Howard, because he's a lot better of an actor. He seems really out of place at times. In the original, Robert Downey Jr. does a fantastic job. I mean, his arrogance is funny, but at the same time, he's also very classy with it. In this, he's just obnoxious, and he's not a very likable hero. Mickey Rourke does alright, but as I said, a lot of the stuff is just too ridiculous and over the top, and they try to do way too much. Unfortunately for this movie, there's a lot of good scenes, but there's also a lot of horrible scenes. And I feel that halfway through this movie, I just stopped taking it seriously, and I think I did enjoy it more from that point on. Don't go into the movie expecting anything like the first Iron Man. Please go in with just average action movie expectations. You'll probably enjoy it a lot more. What do you do with the drunken superhero? You get the other suit and you kick the shit out of him. That was Don Cheadle's answer to Tony Stark getting drunk at his own birthday party and completely freaking out and start destroying his house with his own suit, and then they get in this ultra battle climax at the house, and they're playing some crazy music, and that's the point where I stopped taking this movie seriously, and I had fun with it. And then enter Samuel L. Jackson, who does bring the movie up a lot, because when he gets in there, it is just awesome. Honestly, I was just waiting for him to be like, say what again? And there's a reveal with Tony Stark's father. There is so much going on in this movie, and there's so many multiple climaxes. By the time the final climax comes, it's over like that. You never feel that these characters are in any danger, and I mean, while they're fun, they don't have an emotional impact on you. By the end of this movie, I was so confused because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to take out of it. There's parts in this movie where they sacrifice dramatic and action scenes just to place a little comedic effect on there, and it's completely ridiculous, and you don't know what you're supposed to be feeling. I mean, Tony Stark's in danger of his life, and I'm laughing my ass off, and has a lot of those really unintentional funny moments. And after, I mean, I'm listening to myself saying this, but I mean, I did enjoy this movie. So overall, it is takes everything from the original and multiplies it by 100, and it doesn't really work. It's bigger, but definitely not better. Stay through the end credits because I think that the end credit was awesome. Definitely fantastically done. I mean, I am very pumped for the Avengers movie. And the Super 8 trailer, I will not spoil anything. It is awesome. Definitely get there for the trailers. The Inception trailer wasn't there. We were promised an Inception trailer with this movie. Where was it? So I'll give this movie a 7.5. I might need to see it again. You know, it's a very enjoyable movie, but it has a lot of flaws. But I think you'll have fun with it. See this movie. It's not amazing, but it is good.